guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are doing a fun little mid-year check-in. I'm going to be tier ranking all of the books that I've read so far within the last few months and see where my head's at now. I know in the moment I might have given a lot of 5 stars, but now that I've had time to let them sit in my head, see if I remember, if I could have DNF'd it, because I know I've learned my lesson. I've always tried to push through any books that I wanted to DNF, but that just forced me into rating some, and I've learned to just roll with it, and if I DNF it, I DNF it. And there are a couple of books that I've tried to read and actually ended up loving, so let's see how we feel about them. I do have a mix of rereads and new reads. We're gonna go through my tier list really quick just to show you guys what I'm thinking. First one is What Sell My Soul For. So these are the books that I believe are a lot of my rereads. These are books that I could think about every day. If anybody ever talks about them, I would get so excited. I would cry. I would like reread these books back to back if I could. Next we have Faves of the Year. So these are books that I would love to pick up again and got me kind of hooked within like the first 50 to 100 pages. If a book does not give me like anything within the first 100 pages, then I just don't think it's going to be a 5-star book. Next we have Didn't Love But Recommend. These are books that I feel like were a good read at the time, but I wouldn't read them again, but I know other people would love these books. Next we have You Couldn't Pay Me to Read Again. These are books that I feel like I loved at that moment, but now that I think about it, just aren't for me. Probably wouldn't read that again. Probably wouldn't even think about it again. So yeah. Next is I Forgot I Read This. These books are things I forgot. Like I even put on my Kindle. I even put on my bookshelf if I do have it on my bookshelf. And I just don't remember any of the plot. I probably didn't even like the book to begin with. These are like, I would say like my 2 to 2.5 star books. And the last one is DNF ... Why. So these are basically any books that within like the first 10 pages I was like, I'm not gonna like this book. I tried to read it and just couldn't get through it. There were like keywords that I didn't really like, or like plots that weren't all there, or it was probably just smut, honestly. Probably. First we have The Wiener Crossaway. This book gave fanfic more than it did like real book. I got an advanced copy of this one, and at the moment I didn't really like it, but it felt like I was reading a Taylor Swift fanfic with like Travis Kelce, and I think that's kind of what her idea was, but I wanted something a little bit more original. Like I love Taylor Swift and I love like football, but I just didn't really need it. So I would say I didn't love, but I would recommend someone else reading it. It was really fun. It was really cute, like banter and all that stuff. Adorable. Next we have Double Pucked. This one I just recently read. It's a white shoes romance, and it's male, and female. She was dating someone who cheated on her. She found out, took his hockey tickets, and met these like famous hockey players that her boyfriend really liked, and she ended up kind of starting like a sexual relationship with them. And it was funny, like it was good, like the banter, but it was something missing, which is another didn't love but I would recommend. And it just felt like something was missing. Like I felt like I needed a little bit more plot. It wasn't that much plot. So next we have The Cupcake Cottage, which was about a hockey captain and I believe a like mascot handler, which already red flag for me. Like it made no sense to me. I believe I gave this a 2 or 3 stars. So I honestly, You Couldn't Pay Me to Read This Again. It was very boring. It's not because it didn't have like any, it had romance, but it didn't have like good romance. It was just the writing. The writing just wasn't it for me, and I just feel like maybe Jean's writing isn't the best for me personally, but someone else might like it. Next we have Consider Me by Becca Mack. I love Becca Mack. Like her writing, I have all the favorite books right here, but all of her, like her writing is just top tier. She knows how to write a good book boyfriend, and this was again a reread for me. So I would honestly sell my soul for this. It's a hockey romance, and it's kind of best friend's boyfriend's teammate. He really like shows up for her, really likes her, really assures her that he really is in this for the long run, and she's kind of hesitant. It is a little curvy girl, and I absolutely loved it, and I would eat it up. That's why I reread it at least once a year. Next we have Off to the Races by Elsie Silver, and Elsie is just one of those people that I can always read any book that she writes, it's always just so good. She knows how to write a good like small town romance, which I really liked, and this one was really fun read. It's probably one of my faves of the year, and I just feel like I can't wait to read the other one. This series came out before the Chestnut Springs series. Chestnut Springs is what put me on to Elsie Silver, and I will continue to read her books. We also have Out of the Gate by Elsie Silver, which is a novella about Dermot and Ada, which is from the first book. It was Vaughn's grandfather and his grandmother, so that was honestly really cute. I was very happy to see like the background of everything that was happening, so that's probably one of my favorites of the year. Next, I'm probably like all of my Elsie Silver books together, but next we have Reckless, which again, reread. I don't really like the pregnancy trope, like the secret pregnancy trope, but if you do it right, I would eat it up every single time, and Elsie of course did it right, which is why it's a would sell my soul for, because I reread it again at least once or twice a year. Lastly, by Elsie Silver, we have Wild Love. Wild Love was really good, but it was missing something for me, so I think it's a like a didn't love but recommend. I don't know if okay, I'm lying. It was probably a favorite year. I gave it like a 4-star. It was like best friends, or oh no, brother's best friend kind of, and like childhood crush or whatever, and it's like secret love, which I honestly really liked and really had a lot of fun with, which I don't see a lot in a lot of books, and I don't get recommended a lot of books with like that secret love from, you know. Next we have No Place to Hide, which is a novella. I read it at the beginning of this year, and I honestly forgot what this was about, but you could not pay me to read this again, because I just feel like there was just so much stuff going on. It was honestly smut, no plot. That's literally what it was, smut, no plot, and it was so aggressive that I did not like it, but I forced myself to finish it, which is another one of my mistakes, but I forced myself to finish it. But you can never pay me to pick that book up again. It was the most like horrendous book ever, and that's all I'm gonna say about it. Next is The Wrong Bride by Catherine Mora, and this is probably a fave of the year. It was very raw, it was very cute, very sweet, and literally ate up the relationship. It's about I can't remember the names of the characters, but basically this girl really likes her best friend, but her best friend really likes her sister, and the entire family is like built for arranged marriages, so they're arranging marriages between this guy's family and this girl's family. But originally she was supposed to marry like her best friend, and since he fell in love with her sister and it was still in the same family, they let it go. But the sister was an asshole, the mother was an asshole, and I was so glad when he stood up for her, because that girl had no backbone till basically the end of the story, and I felt so bad for her, and it was just a lot going on. Next we have The Fake Maid by Luna Mason. I've also read The Nanny, which I really liked. I would say The Fake Maid is a didn't love but highly recommend. It's a shapeshifter romance. It does have a good amount of smut in it, but it was just something that was missing from this book that I didn't really like. It has fake dating in it, which I love fake dating. I love like enemies to lovers, all that stuff, but it was just like that little thing that was just missing from me. Next we have Twisted Love.
The fact that I kept saying Twisted Love instead of Twisted Lies, even though I literally looked at it, is absolutely nuts. So you guys know what I meant.
Twisted Love is honestly like one of my favorite books of all time by Anna Huang, and I cannot wait to read the rest of her like Kings of Sin series. But Twisted Love was a what's on my soul for. I literally reread it for this moment, just because I was reading some, like the books that are in my What Sell My Soul For, I read because I'm in a reading slump and can finish it in its entirety within like the next 4 or 5 hours. Like, you know, it's that good of a book. Next is Heart Trick. Heart Trick is a fake dating kind of sports romance, but it's not like, it doesn't talk a lot about sports romance, but he plays a sport, and I feel like it was I don't know, like it was a really good book. It was really fun, very modern, because they it was basically a TikTok video that went viral of her grumpy neighbor, and his manager saw it and was like, you guys need to date. So she was trying to help his reputation, and found out like his grandma or something, I think, used to live in the same door, which they felt like was, oh my god, it was, you know, fate or whatever. Which is I think it's gonna be a didn't love but recommend. I honestly really like the book. It's a novella. I feel like if it was a little bit longer, it didn't have that much of a plot, which is why I'm kind of like iffy about it. Next, we have The Love Hypothesis. Oh my god, no one told me how good Ali Hazelwood's books are, which is going to be a would sell my soul for. I don't know if I will change this, but I cannot wait till we Love on the Brain, Love Hypothesis. Like, any of Ali Hazelwood's books are just like really good, and she might be becoming one of my favorite authors. Like, it's absolutely crazy. Like, I heard a lot of people talking about it but not really talking about it. It was just like, oh my god, just buy this book. Next, we have Chaos by Luna Mason. Luna Mason is one of my favorite writers, and I think this is a fave of the year. He's a biker, you know, book talk girls and there are bikers, but it was like his long lost brother he didn't know about cheated and runaway bride. So she runs away. She doesn't know who he is because she's never met him. She's never met anyone in his family, and she kind of like, she runs away, finds him. This is also secret pregnancy. I forgot. This is secret pregnancy. They have a one-night stand. She gets pregnant. She doesn't tell them because she doesn't know that he's like moving to Vegas, and finds him like a few months, a few years later, and he's like just the best dad. And I love like when you can just hop into that role of amazing dad. Next, we have Detained by Luna Mason as well, and this one is like these are mafia books. So this is mafia king meets like detective. That father is also working with like a rival gang or whatever, and it's a lot going on, which I would say is a fave of the year. I absolutely love the book. The writing was really fun. There is a lot of smut and very, very heavy trigger warnings in this, so please look at the trigger warning before you do this. Same thing with Devoted. This one is mafia king. He falls in love with like his rival's daughter and fakes her death, but she's not really dead, and they like go through this whole thing. It's very, very heavy, and it does have a lot of mentions of like rape, which I think you guys should please get the trigger warning before you read any of Luna Mason's books, because they're very heavy but they're very good. Next, we have a reread, Icebreaker. Unpopular opinion, I absolutely love this book. A lot of people like this book, and for some reason I feel like I was missing, like I feel like I missed a lot of stuff in the book, so I ended up rereading it, and it's probably still like a fave of the year. I honestly really like that book. It's really fun. It's really simple and easy, so I had to reread it again, help me get out of a reading slump. Next is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight. I am not used to like thrillers or anything, but this one was a really good book, which I believe is a fave of the year. I tried to read it during Halloween but could not, and it didn't happen. It was a great plot twist in it, and I was like on the edge of my seat the entire time. King of Sloth. I loved King of Sloth. Their relationship was amazing, and just the rawness of it. The ending was my favorite because a lot of books force on marriage and kids and all that stuff, but a lot of the times 50 pages before, even if it's like months or years before, 50 pages before, they felt like they needed time apart. That's why a lot of people do like, what book couples do you think would be divorced by this time? It's because really like less than 50 pages away you were cheating on her, or you hurt her, or you did something, and now they just expect me to forgive you? No ma'am. And the next one is The Fucking Wrong Number. This one is a you couldn't pay me to read again. I would say I didn't love but recommend. It's very stalkerish, and I feel like a lot of people like this. Okay, I'm lying. I'm gonna put You Couldn't Pay Me to Read again. Same thing with The Fucking Wrong Guy. I didn't love this, but I would recommend it. It was really fun read. Very quick, very easy. He was kind of like the equivalent to Zay Meadows if Zay Meadows was like a golden retriever. Like, he was still like the stalker. He was putting drugs in her ex-boyfriend's car. He was doing like going all out for her because they met when they were kids. He fell in love when they were kids, but she got adopted, and you know, just a lot of stuff was going on, but I had a good time reading it. Next we have A Merry Little Meet Cute. Don't ask me why I was reading this in like February, March, because it was just on my shelf and I kept seeing it and I just need to read it. I actually forgot I read this for a second, but this is like this girl who was a internet p-star and he was like one of her favorite fans and all that stuff. They kind of like lost touch. Like she got off of it trying to be an actor, he became an actor, and they were acting in a movie. Like it was literally nothing special. I think I gave it like a 2-star. Like it was not even that good. And next we have Cross by Emily McIntyre. Emily McIntyre is another one of my favorite like authors as well. This was giving like priest-ish kind of thing. It's also like a retell of The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and honestly it was pretty crazy. I would say it's probably a didn't love but recommend. I gave it like a 3.5, 4 stars. Scarred, I absolutely loved. I don't know if it's like a fave or if it's a what's on my soul for, but I think it's a fave right now. This tells like the story of Lion King kind of, where she is like this, she's trying to seduce the king to kill him and his family because it's what her uncle wanted, and it's because she thought that they killed her father. It's not really a spoiler, but they didn't. It's a whole thing going on that she found out and all. But it was a really fun read. I really liked it. I would recommend that book to almost every single person. I didn't know if I was gonna like it. I probably got like 20 pages in before I put it down both times, and then just pushed through it, and actually really liked it, so very happy about that. Next we have Camera Shy. Camera Shy was a fave, but I honestly kind of forgot that I read this. She is a plus-size girl who acts to take care of her boss's like house in, I believe, Las Vegas, and she meets this neighbor who he absolutely like adores her. He is a photographer, a boudoir photographer, and he's trying to get her out of her shell. It was really fun. It was really cute. I love their banter. Next we have Rein Me In, which is by Kayla Gross. I don't know how to say it, but this is a small town romance. I think they were friends before he comes back into town and really just like lets loose on her. I think this is a favorite of the year. I really like this book. It was really fun. Same thing with I Like You Like That. This is also giving like it's pop star vibes. He is her bodyguard, and I think they were friends, like best friends, and she really had a crush on him at a young age, but he tried to like let her off and just like kind of forget about it, but they ended up finding out they actually still have feelings for each other, because why the hell not? And Puck Shy, also by Kayla Gross, was really fun, but there was a lot going on. This is a very spicy book, very spicy novella, which I believe was like a fave of the year. I would say Kayla is a really good writer. They basically have like this one night stand at this very exclusive sexy club, and he just kind of becomes obsessed with her. Kayla really also knows how to write a good curvy girl romance, which I'm really proud of as well for her. Next we have Mother's Day In by Lee Banquet, I want to say. This one is honestly, I forgot I read this. Same thing with Four Leaf. They're by the same author. Mother's Day In is like this guy had a crush on this mom, and really was like really good with her daughter, but just yeah. And he's like, this is gonna be the year that I make this happen. This is the year I'm gonna make her fall in love with me. So he books her like this stay at his family's inn and seduces her basically. Same with the Four Leaf. I believe this is like a DNF/Y, only because it's like, why did you read this? This is a very aggressive book. They had a crush on each other. They were friends for a long time, had a crush on each other, didn't act on it, then decided to act on it. That's just what it was. Called Right, Done Right, and Effed Right by Rihanna Bowell. These books were like, she teaches him, so these are all books like he has never done it before. He has never Made a Girl O, and then I don't know what the other one is about, but I think Called Right was the newest one. I forgot I read Called Right. I forgot and I forgot I read that one and this one. So those, they were good books. They were fun. I think I gave them like 3 to 4 stars, but honestly can't remember too much about the books anyway. Next is Say You Swear. Say You Swear, I was very surprised at. I cried. I think this is a gotta go up a little bit. I think this is a What's On My Soul For. It was very interesting, very sweet, learning how to cook, and a lot of people say it was a good book. A lot of people kind of hated on it too, but I honestly really loved the book. Next we have Daddy's Good Girl. I don't remember this book at all. I just can't even tell you who the character, what's about. Brady the Babysitter. It's a DNF. Straight DNF. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking about reading that book, but I read novellas like in between books to try to get out of like a reading slump. The amount of times I think I heard him say fertile womb, babysitter wife, like it was very questionable. Irish Cream and Come to Cupid. Irish Cream is a why choose. I probably wouldn't pick up this book again. This is a You Couldn't Pay Me to Pick Up again. Same thing with Come to Cupid. I don't think I would read these again. They were novellas. They're like seasonal novellas. Come to Cupid is obviously Valentine's Day, and Irish Cream is St. Patrick's Day. Come to Cupid, he finds, I think she's like Miss Go, because he's like, no one can find me, but he ends up really falling in love with her and shoots her with his arrow and have like this whirlwind just sexual romance. Same thing with Irish Cream. She kind of stumbles into this bar that honestly, no, at the end you will probably know it, no one can see it, but I guess she made like a wish or whatever, and it, yeah, One Night at Foxbrook. This is I forgot I read. I know what it is about. I know it's about like a chef. She's a chef and he's a chef, and they're trying to cook dinner or something, and they've had like crushes on each other for a long time, and I literally forgot what that was. Hotel Roommate, couldn't even tell you what the fuck that shit was about. My Best Friend's Dad. This one is a Why Did She Write It? This is again Best Friend's dad, so it's like her stepdad and her actual dad. They became friends after her mother cheated on both of them, and they were really close. Based off this girl that's kind of like a best friend, but she also recently met, and they all do it. Basically, that's literally what it was. I also read 50 Shades of Grey and Grey, which is Christian's pub of 50 Shades of Grey, and I just wanted to read them to see like what it was going to be about and what different, because a lot of people say they're different from the books, but they're pretty much the same, just seeing some stuff. These are You Couldn't Pay Me to Read Again. I don't think I would ever pick these books up again. I really like the movies. And then Carrie's First Time. I don't remember this book at all. I don't even remember what this book was about. Of course, it's like first time, but I think she was a babysitter, or she was like a family friend or something, and she really liked him, and it just didn't really click for me. I don't even remember like that much about it. So those are all my rankings. Stay tuned for another video. I think I'm gonna be doing a 24-hour reading challenge soon, because I am about 5 or 6 books behind on my reading goal, and I really want to reach that this year. I honestly don't remember what I was doing like reading any of these books. I'm trying to get out of my novella phase. Anytime anything goes wrong with my life, I find a novella to read. I want to read like my physical books because I have over 150 books that I need to read that are like physical books, because I'm always on my Kindle, which is really bad. But I have over 150 books that I need to read. If I could turn around all of the books that I haven't read, it would be basically my whole bookshelf. So we're gonna try to read a lot more of those. I am currently reading, I believe, Night Shift, which was a Wattpad book. We're gonna see, because Wattpad was my jam. But I'm rambling, so I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and again, see you in the next video.